like DSM manuals written on like what is not resilience, what is mental illness, and there's relatively less written on what is well-being. And so one of my favorite authors, Daniel Siegel, in his books, he talks about how not well-being can be kind of classed into two areas, chaos and rigidity. And so personally for me, I grew up in a home that was, well, actually it's funny because it had a little bit of both. I had one parent who was having a lot of emotions in a big way, and I had another parent who was an engineer and had everything neatly compartmentalized. And so I feel like, so, and this corresponds to the two parts of our brains. And so the right side of the brain, and if you're right-handed, so if you're left-handed, it might be swapped opposite, but the right side of your brain is responsible for processing emotions and also for body sensations, big pictures. The left side of your brain is linear logical. And I feel like with my two parents, I grew up with both sides well developed, but what there wasn't integration between the two hemispheres, because I had one that modeled more of that chaos side, and one that modeled more of the rigidity, and one that modeled right brain, and one that modeled left brain, but there wasn't a whole lot of integration. And what creates well-being is actually integration. It's integration of the right and left sides of our brain and the upstairs and downstairs parts of our brain, which we'll talk about in different weeks. And it's also the capacity to be with what is challenging and to be with what is beautiful. And so mindfulness and self-compassion practices really do help the two parts of the brain work together.